We enter the home stretch of the regular season of Season 2 after what seemingly was a rough patch that this team went through in the middle of the season. A 3-game win streak behind the rushing attack has catapulted us into bowl contention, and we are looking to get that 6th win of the season, punch our ticket to a bowl matchup, and even still beyond that, we are not completely out of the play for a potential MAC championship. We're also looking for a little bit of revenge as Western Michigan really beat us down last year as it was a 34-3 domination as we're back at home. Jalen Leanne on the bubble screen, and Leanne getting free. Jalen Leanne for a big play to start this game. Play action rolling out. Cash finds Cooper Flanagan, and Flanagan takes a hit, but we're already at the 23-yard line after a 1-yard loss. 2nd and 11. Riley is going to have Leanne cutting upfield inside the 10, and Jalen Leanne to the 3. Goal to go, handing it off. Roxy Kennedy, touchdown. NIU immediately getting things started with a 7-0 lead in just under 3 minutes as we turn to the Western Michigan offense and a really fun matchup here. It's 2 running backs that we'll be seeing, but the main one, Jordan Newbin, brother of Giant safety Tyler Newbin, transferred over from Minnesota. This Bronco offense utilizes 2 running backs, so we'll get to see plenty of Newbin and the other guy, Jules Goff, as it's going to be quarterback Cade Fox with a lot of time. And one of the biggest issues for the Huskies this year has been the lack of pass rush. It's been really bad for this team. We have probably among the worst pass rushes in the entire country as Fox is going to float one down the field and inside the 25-yard line, and Western Michigan responding just as well. Over the middle, flag is down on the RPO, and it looks like this one is going to be on the Bronco offense. Pass interference. Back them up, and it'll be 1st down and 20 as they go to the ground. Here goes Newbin, finds a hole, and Newbin, he gets 18 yards, and now 2nd down and 2 from the 15. Screen outside, gets the block, and David Segal gets a touchdown for the Western Michigan offense. And early on, we may have ourselves some real offensive fireworks here as Jalen Leanne makes a move, and we're getting Leanne the ball early and often, his 3rd catch of the 1st quarter as Riley rolls left and is going to try to float one for Roxy, can't hang on, and it's 3rd down and 11 for Riley as he's going to have time, gets it to Flanagan, and Cooper Flanagan with another big grab, his 2nd of the 1st quarter, as now Martin Elena gets to the outside, and look at the quick cutting from Martin Elena coming off his incredible game a few weeks back where he had 4 touchdowns as Riley play action rolling out, he's going to keep it, and Cash Riley, not much of a run threat, but a rare keeper for him. 3rd down and 3. Kennedy is not going to be able to get past his man, and it'll be 4th down and 5. Field goal for the lead on the way. It is good, and a 10-7 lead for the Husky offense as they got 2 scoring drives to start this one, and already ending the 1st quarter. 27 seconds to play as Fox over the middle and finds his man. We'll be on to the 2nd quarter after this final play. Play action for Fox as he's going to throw it down the middle, and Shaq Elbow was there with good coverage, but he still brings it in. And now the 2nd underway. Collins gets ran through, and that is Jules Goff, the other running back who we're going to see plenty of as Fox with a lot of time in the pocket. Down the field, it's double coverage, tipped and intercepted. Matthew Hearn, the other safety who comes off the bench in our 3 safety packages. He comes off the bench and grabs another interception, his 2nd in the last few games. And now Riley in the offense taking over as they'll find Roxy Kennedy underneath, and he's going to get us to 3rd down and 3 as they go play action. Riley rolling out, finds a wide open Flanagan, and Cooper gets his 3rd 1st down reception as now from the 27-yard line, Roxy hasn't found a lot of room so far today, but he finds a lane, and Roxy Kennedy got the perfect blocking, and a 73-yard touchdown for Roxy Kennedy. Longest run of his career. It's crazy to think Roxy in the first 6 games of the year, 0 runs of over 20 yards, and now in the last couple of games, last 4 now, it has been Big run after big run, and that's the biggest of his young career. As the defense now really feeding off that momentum. 3rd and 19 for Fox, as he's going to go down the field and finding his receiver, and a much needed first down, as you don't want to get this snowball effect going, as here goes Segal. He had the touchdown earlier, and finding his way to another first down on a screen. Fox stepping up and finding a man, gonna be caught, and that's Jerry McClure for a 8-yard gain. 2nd down and 2 for Fox, as a wide open tight end, Caden Seller for a first. And this offense driving it. Here goes Newbin, stiff arm, and Newbin brought down by Vakari Swain and company. 3rd down and 7 for Fox, as he goes to the outside, has a blocker out in front, but he's not going to be able to get the first down. And the offense staying out there. 4th and 2, he's not going to get it. And an indecisive run cost them their possession. They could have kicked the field goal to make it a 1-score game, but they wanted to be aggressive. I can't fault them for it, but maybe they just went to the wrong player because he didn't seem to be ready for that moment. Miles Kendrick with a first down now, as the 2nd quarter, just under 3 minutes to go. Martin Elena cuts it inside for a gain of 5, as 2-minute warning now hit, and Riley is going to throw to Miles Kendrick for another first down, as Riley with the blitz sent in, and they get through the interior. They sent a guy off the edge, and the interior gets blown up, as now 2nd down and 18. Riley, here's the time that you want to see him with, as he's going to throw it up top. Miles Kendrick brings it in, and he gets a block from Gibbons. Touchdown, Miles Kendrick. And he has been the contested grab specialist for this team. The vertical threat who we've gotten to see more of get involved in the offense. And he delivers maybe his most impressive play of his career. And what a transfer he was to bring in from Indiana after not playing as a freshman. And he's getting the opportunity. He's making the most of it. Maybe even he's playing a little too well in some aspects, because I'm scared he might leave us down the line. But I love this receiving core that we have put together, and having him as a freshman and having Jalen Leanne as a freshman, it's really exciting, as Western Michigan is driving it down the field. Just 30 seconds to play, and they're trying to get some points up on the board. They find themselves in the red zone now with just 20 seconds to go from the 15. Fox has got time, a lot of time, finds an open man, and he gets inside the 5-yard line, trying to get that much needed touchdown. He had an open man in the end zone, but he missed it. Now 11 seconds. They have no timeouts. A sack here could end the half, as Fox has got a lot of time in the pocket and a one-handed grab in the end zone. Touchdown, Western Michigan. And that is a great way to end the first half for them. But they got to turn to their defense now and say, hey, you've allowed 24 points on the board. You can't be doing that, as this offense for the Huskies has been phenomenal. 2 massive plays, a 70-plus yard run from Roxy, and that big play from Miles Kendrick. Now Western Michigan gets the football to start the second half, and they got to hope their offense can keep up. Newbin is going to make a man miss in the open field and get 8 yards on the play. 2nd down and 2 for Fox, as they're going to hand it off. That's Jules Goff. What an open lane through the middle of the field, and he gets to the 40-yard line in Husky territory, as Fox is going to go outside for another play to Segal, who is so slippery. Every single time he's touched the ball, it's been like a short pass, and he's just taking it, making guys miss, getting first downs, getting the touchdown from earlier. Western Michigan now in the red zone, as 3 minutes down here in the 3rd quarter. They go outside, and there's Segal again. Another short play that he takes for a first down from the 6-yard line. Goal to go, handoff. It's gonna be Goff spinning his way in. Touchdown, Broncos. And the offense for the Broncos is keeping up. Can we now hold them off, as Kennedy on the edge with a nice run, and Roxy Kennedy is nearing 100 yards once more, as Riley gonna try to float one down the field for Flanagan. It's incomplete. 2nd down and 10 turns to 3rd and 10. Broncos send pressure. Riley's got to get it out a little earlier. The anticipation gets the completion to Gary Gibbons. It was such a great play, a high-level throw, and a good job from Gibbons to be on the same page with his quarterback. 3rd down and 6 though. Can he convert again? Riley, little less pressure. He gets it to Flanagan, but it's shy of the marker. 4th and 2, kind of in no man's land. Gonna go for it, as Riley finds Martin Elena out of the backfield, and Martin gets 9 yards. And here goes the Husky offense, looking for more points, as Martin Elena on the carry there. He gets 6. It's 3rd and inches. Now we got both running backs in the backfield. Elena, first down again. And Ryden Martin, Elena on this drive a little bit. Kennedy down to the deep back. Riley to the air. He's going to go underneath. That's Drew, the second tight end. Rare grab for him, but he's going to get us to the 9-yard line. Hand off to Roxy. And it's 4th and 1. Offense staying back out there. This time it's directly snapped to Kennedy. It rolls to the 1-yard line. Goal to go. Same formation. Roxy's going to try to throw it this time. It's a good pass, but it's through the arms of the tight end, and it's not going to be a score. Now just do it the traditional way. Hand off for Kennedy, and he punches it in. Tried to get Roxy a little trickery passing touchdown. Instead, we'll just take the rushing. 31-21 your score, and this Western Michigan team just not been able to play good defense all day. NIU's had their way, and even though the Bronco offense has been pretty solid, we enter the 4th quarter, a 10-point deficit for the Broncos. Fox to the air, 3rd down and 10. And he's got time as per usual, and he's going to toss one up top, and a grab for Caden Sellers, the tight end. This Husky defense really just needs to do better with the pressure. It's been so bad all year, and you don't want to send too many blitzes. You want to keep them guessing as they're going to toss one deep in double coverage, and Holton got over there. It's 4th down, and they do punt it. That's really curious. Down by 10 with 8 minutes to play. You punt the football to a defense that's been struggling, and they're going to have to try to see if they could get something, and that's one way. We make a mistake. Fullback gets in the way. Now 2nd down and 13. Riley is going to have a flag down. Take the shot for Givens. It's incomplete, but this one, yeah, that's going to be a holding on the Huskies. So 2 mistakes on this drive. Back us up. It's going to be 2nd and 23, and just setting up the screen for Kennedy as he's going to try to get as much as he can. Kennedy, he does get a really nice gain and gets us all the way to 3rd down and 8, so it's makeable. Still not ideal. Riley has to roll, and he's not much of a runner, so he's just going to throw one up. He didn't have to throw to double coverage, but Kendrick this time can't bring it in, and a punt is going to give the Broncos another chance at it as they go over the middle for a completion of 9. Caden Fox over 300 yards on the day as they go with the little RPO, and the tight ends got it. They got 2 tight ends out there getting plays made for them. They got 2 running backs. They use a lot of different players, and all of them have been producing today and have been doing their fair share. But can this team get it to 1 score? They go down the middle, tipped up in the air, and innocently fall into the ground. 3rd and 6 for Fox as he goes over the middle. It's caught, and keeping the drive alive to the 23. Just 3:20 to play as he'll go to the end zone, knocked away again. Oh, Shaq Alba getting a hand on it as they got to go underneath. At least the vertical passing attack, we've defended it pretty well, but they find themselves at the 8-yard line now. 2:40 to play. Fox again, so much time. Eventually we'll find a receiver, just 4 yards. 3rd and 1 the spot as 4-man rush. Fox has got an open man in the end zone and a touchdown, and it just seems like a 4-man rush is just a recipe for giving the quarterback all the time he needs. As Leanne, can we end this game? As Leanne fumbles, but it goes out of bounds. Just needing maybe a 1st down or 2 to end it. Leanne almost costed us, but now he's going to make up for it with a 1st down grab. Western Michigan down to 1 timeout. Riley gets sacked. It's 3rd down and 15. Can they get off the field? Riley finds Cooper Flanagan, turns his back to the defense, and he goes down, and a victory. 3rd and 15. If we didn't convert that, which it was very unlikely, it was really seeming like Western Michigan was going to have a real chance at this one. But the completion on 3rd and long, Flanagan got open, and we get the job done. That's win number 6 on the year. A clean game from Cash Riley, pretty efficient, pretty effective. Caden Fox had to throw it 44 times. And even though the running game, it wasn't bad, they just didn't have many opportunities to run it. They were constantly down by like 10 points throughout the whole game. Roxy, though, how about 120 plus yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground, and Roxy continues this hot streak, and he is running us to our 4th consecutive win. A bowl appearance very much seems like it can happen now. You know, 6 wins isn't a 100% guarantee, but depending on how high we finish in the conference, which right now we are looking pretty good in the conference standings. I think it's like if we finish top 5, we probably get a bowl game. We just need to keep doing our thing and hoping that, even if we manage to lose these final 2, that we could still find ourselves in a bowl game with everyone else kind of losing. But we hope that we can win at least one of our final 2. 7 wins would guarantee us a bowl game, 100%. Our next game, though, is going to be about as tough of a game as it's going to get in this MAC schedule. We'll get to that in a minute. For now, though, we got to talk recruiting, and it's been a pretty slow recruiting year for us when it comes to getting prospects in this regular season. Seems like there's maybe some cautious optimism for this team, and if we can really show that we have a really big future to build with, and if players want to be a part of that. But we're looking pretty good on a number of players' boards. They're kind of seeing maybe how we stick the landing to close this year, and if we can maybe get to a bowl game, win a bowl game, and see how everything goes. But let's get to some of the prospects around the nation. How about we go to Michigan, taking a look at a 5-star cornerback, Dillard Humphrey, who, to no surprise, being from the state of Michigan, draws interest from Michigan University, but we have schools like Nebraska, Penn State, Wisconsin, all eyeing this high-level corner. The only thing that was really stopping him from being maybe the number 1 corner in the nation is, while he is a nice athlete, he's not one of those elite athletes who's going to be running, in the 4.3s, 4.4s. He's probably more of a high 4.4, low 4.5 type of player, but that's not to take away from the type of player he is. He has made up for his lack of maybe tremendous long speed and strength. He's going to be somebody who maybe gets kind of bodied at the catch point when you're facing these tougher 6'3", 220-pound guys. He's not going to be able to really out-physical them, but he makes up for being a real just wide receiver shadow is the way to go about it. His lateral movement, his agility, his foot speed is really good. He doesn't have that kind of straight line rushing speed, but the lateral agility, the way he's able to shadow receivers on their cuts, the way he's able to use his hands at the line of scrimmage. He's a very technically sound player. He's probably the most technically gifted cornerback in the entire class, as he is just able to read, react, use his hands, use his feet, use everything that he has to his ability. And this is a guy where if you're looking at him and saying, man, if he could run a 4.3 or something like that, you're looking at a generational type of corner. But everyone's got their weaknesses, but he pairs his abilities to just react and be one of the more smarter corners and technically sound corners with also pretty sound tackling ability as well. He is a guy who is, despite me saying he's not the biggest or greatest athlete in the world, he's a very willing tackler. He will get down there, he will get dirty, he has good form, he has the ability to maybe even unlock some versatility. The profile of a guy like this screams somebody who can maybe play nickel corner for you down the line. He's just never had to play nickel much at all. He's strictly just an outside corner from an experience standpoint. Very occasionally has he played in the nickel, but his profile is that of somebody who you think, yeah, maybe he could play nickel down the line if he gets to develop that aspect of his game. But at the very least, you're getting a very high floor outside cornerback, maybe some slot ability down the line. It's really curious to see where he lands. I think the most interesting spot is if he goes to Michigan. Julius Weston was a player last year we talked about at safety. He committed to Michigan and starting day 1 is doing pretty solid over there. We'll see if maybe you get a little team up at Michigan and they can start building themselves a special secondary. But regardless, we're excited to see where he ends up going and where he chooses. This upcoming game is a big one, though. We're taking on Buffalo. Our final 2 games of the year are Buffalo and Akron specifically. And the kind of situation that we're in right now, we win our final 2 and Kent State loses their final 2. It's looking very likely that we will be in the conference championship to likely take on this Buffalo team all over again. So, conference championship for the MAC after, how this season was looking and how last year looked maybe wasn't something that we thought could be a possibility. But here we are. We could go 6-2 in the conference, but it would involve us taking down this Buffalo squad that is incredibly good and is, just been running through this conference for the last, year and a half at this point. They are so talented, and Buffalo sitting here at 9-2. A win for Buffalo puts them probably in the top 25 and maybe even playoff contention if they can win out, as Riley starts his game off with an incomplete pass and is looking at a 3rd down where he finds a wide open Cooper Flanagan past the 40 to the 43-yard line. And now Riley under center is going to drop back on 2nd and 12. Stepping up, rolling right. He's going to throw an ill-advised pass on the run, trying to get it to Leanne, and it's intercepted. And an opening drive turnover for the Huskies. Riley, that was just... tried to do a little too much there. He had some decent protection, was able to maneuver through the pocket, just wasn't able to make the right decision. That's just all on him. But we have to run into this Buffalo offense. Keith Adams, the leading rusher in the MAC, the first running back to grab 1,000 yards on the season, as we're over here talking about the running back. But Nick McMillan just put him on a poster and a touchdown. Two guys got down there, neither could make a play on it, as now the offense takes over, and Jalen Leanne, we tried to go at a little trickery, losing 8 yards. And this Buffalo team trying to prove that this Husky squad is too young. They're not ready to be at the top of the MAC, as Riley hit as he's throwing. Incomplete. Third into double coverage. They have to punt. Now Buffalo already up 7-0. It's a bad ball, but 7-0. Close to midfield, as J.C. Evans is going to throw it over the middle for Ben Daly, the tight end. And they are into Husky territory. Evans, we send the blitz, but he delivers, and Nick McMillan caught the touchdown, and now he's got them moving the chains and looking for the end zone again, as Evans is going to find Daly again, is going to get 5 yards. Now 2nd down, as they are going to go a little RPO, and there's Nick McMillan again. And they're picking on our weakest link on the outside. Armstrong has been very streaky, as that ball, I mean, could have called a penalty there for some pass interference, but we'll take it as it's 3rd down and 10. Evans knocked away. And there is a field goal try to make it a 10-0 lead. It's going to be good. So this offense needs to settle down. Riley really needs to just calm down a bit. Jalen Leanne gets into the outside, and that's what you need to see. Jalen Leanne coming up with a big 20-plus yarder, as Riley, in the face of pressure, hit as he's throwing incomplete. 3rd down and 10, sending the pressure again. And there's Cooper Flanagan. When we are in need of a big play, you send the blitz. Cooper Flanagan is a matchup nightmare, as Roxy gets stopped for a loss of 2. And now Riley is going to throw. Pressure again. Leanne again. And Leanne's been targeted a lot so far. 3rd down and 3. Gets it to Partridge. A rare catch for him. And he's at it to goal to go. From the 1, trying to do our old reliable Kennedy on the direct snap. Gets stopped. 3rd down and goal. Riley, play action, and he's going to roll. He's going to throw a dangerous ball. Leanne up in the air, and he gets it in contested coverage for a touchdown. And Jalen Leanne, a lot of targets, a lot of production, and he is going to help us pull within 3 points as Evans. There goes Nick McMillan making a man miss, but he's not going to get far, just 2 yards. 3rd down and 3. Evans knocked away, up too high for the tight end. 4th down and 3. They're going for it. We send the blitz, and he's not going to get there. Short of the line, and maybe NIU getting some momentum as Martin Elena tries to cut it to get that first down. He'll get 4. Sets up 3rd down and 2. They're going to go to Kennedy, and blown up at the line. 76 got put down, and we couldn't get any blocking there. It's a clear matchup disadvantage for us on the trenches side of things, as a flag is down. Buffalo taking over, and well, their trenches are going to set them back a little bit. It's going to be a holding and set them to 2nd down and 15, as they're going to go with a run, and they're putting us on our back. Keith Adams for a first. One of the reasons why he's leading the MAC in rushing yards. He's got a nice offensive line behind him, as Nick McMillan has been a problem for us. We're halfway through the 2nd quarter, and we can't stop this Buffalo team right now. He gets another play to the edge. It seems like it's screened to one side, Nick McMillan on the other, and then great blocking down the middle. And down the middle is where they go on the pass. And down to a run for Adams, who spins off a tackler and somehow turning that into a 6-yard run. Now an option. They fake the pitch, and he gets brought down for a loss of 3. 3rd down and 7. Can we hold to a field goal? Pass was high, but reeled in. Goal to go for Buffalo as they go with the handoff, and that wasn't Adams. The backup comes in, steals a touchdown. and now we're down 17-7 as Elena on the kickoff. He's had some nice ones so far this year, and he's got a little bit of room to get us to the 38-yard line. We'll take that. We'll take the nice field position and hope we can maybe pull within one score. Riley, though, the pressure is just brutal. 3rd down and 8. Quick pass to Flanagan, and it's going to be 4th and 3. They punt it. I mean, Riley's just having to get that ball out a little faster than he would like. He's really uncomfortable right now, and you can tell, I mean, from the very beginning of this game, he has been uncomfortable as Buffalo is just stringing together more big plays. They're over 200 yards in the air in the first half. 40 seconds is down to 20 seconds on 3rd down and 3. Evans stepping up and throwing one down the field. Incomplete. From the 35, they're going to try a kick for a 13-point lead. Field goal is good, and we go to half, and it was not pretty in the first half. Cash Riley looked really uncomfortable. The offensive line was awful, and on defense, we just cannot just do much of anything right now. We are outmatched talent-wise. There's a reason this Buffalo team is 9-2. There's a reason that they've run through this conference. They are really talented. As Evans throwing it down the field, it's dropped, and we catch a break. 3rd down and 8. Evans just delivers it to Daly, and he has just enough for the 1st down. These passes are high, but these receivers are going up there. But you have to hope that one of these high balls is going to go right over somebody's head and hopefully into our safety's hands, because high passes down the middle, it's a disaster waiting to happen, and maybe we can catch a pick at some point. 3rd down and 7. That one was accurate, on point. And it's goal to go. Buffalo handing it off to Adams. He's not going to get far. Flag is down, it looks like, as well. And we will take all the little breaks we can get. Holding, back them up from the 15. Pop pass, not finding much room. 3rd and goal from the 13 with the man in motion. Swings it out, and they're not going to get anywhere close. They lose a yard. And now we will be taking our offense out there onto the field once more in a 2-score deficit, but this time 16 points down, needing a lot to make the comeback in this one. Martin Elena on the kick return once more, and Elena again gets a solid return. He got to the 38 last time, now to the 36. As can we get the run game going a little bit? Roxy is going to get 8 yards. I mean, that is more yards than he had the rest of the day combined. Now get him a 1st down. I think Buffalo may be content with letting us run the football a little bit. They just don't want to allow anything crazy, as Kennedy out of the backfield is going to get the grab for 10 yards. As now spreading the field with Leanne in motion. We're going to go quick out to him, and Jalen Leanne has it for about 10 yards, and they give him the 1st down. 3rd quarter, winding. Riley putting together the best drive of the game so far as Kendrick has it for 3rd and inches. Run the ball. Kennedy gets the block down the field, and he's inside the 5. Kennedy, can we punch it in? Riley to the air. Flanagan, touchdown. And we are looking to make this comeback. Can we get the 2, though? Riley on the rollout. He's going to fire one for the back of the end zone. Jalen Lee, and converts, and it's a 1-score game. Don't count us out just yet, but the defense needs to do something here. Adams to close out this 3rd quarter with a run, loses yards, and now we're on to the 4th with a 3rd down and 6 for Evans. He's going to step up and try to run for it, and Evans, he's met but brought down ahead of the line and keeping it going. Evans with the play action, finds a man down into the red zone. He's over 300 on the day, and now a rollout and underneath for Daly, and a grab for just a yard. 3rd down and 8 for Evans. He has too much time, and he finds Daly. Touchdown! Just 4-man pass rushes are non-existent for this team. And it's just not going to happen if you give a quarterback all the time in the world. 30-15 your score. Roxy is picking it up in the second half, but I think Buffalo content once again, like I said, letting us run the football. They just don't want to allow any crazy plays down the field. Incomplete 3rd down and 10 for Riley. It's going to find Leanne over the middle, and Jalen Leanne has got another 1st down. as there's going to be Riley throwing once more. It's hit, and Kendrick's coming back for the football, and he does reel in for a gain of 9. Now 2nd down and 1. Riley finds Flanagan, and down to the 18. We're in the red zone, trying to get this back to a 1-score game, but that's an LN5's ball, and it's intercepted in the end zone. He wanted it all for Kendrick, and it was just a bad decision. And now Buffalo up by 15 with just 5 minutes to play, and they have all the control. Can we get off the field though? As Evans, time in the pocket, floating one, up in the air, knocked away, and we'll get the football back with 5 to go. Riley, immediate flag is down, and this is just brutal. Our offensive line is getting dominated, and they're holding, and they're struggling, and our weaknesses are rearing their ugly heads at a bad time. But Flanagan is one of our strengths, and he pulls that ball in at midfield. He's over 100 on the day. Riley rolling, and he just can't move anywhere. There's pressure on every direction. Now trying to get a little design movement, buying him some time, finding Miles Kendrick, and he's inside the 30, down to the 21. And can we once again get this back to 1 score? Riley is sacked. And now just 3 minutes to play. 3rd down and long. Pass is incomplete. 4th down, and we will get a couple of yards off of this. What seems to be offsides, a little encroachment. The fake snap got him, and it'll be 4th down and 18 instead. Riley to the air, pressures in his face, he's throwing it deep. He has Leanne, but he missed it. He had Leanne in the end zone, and a flat-out miss. It was in the face of pressure, I know, but that is brutal. As now on 3rd down and 5, Trevor Holton with an interception. That's basically a throwing punt, though, as they just threw that ball down the field. It seems like they were content with throwing a pick. They're lining up in prevent defense, and NIU's going to take the opportunity to maybe run the football a little bit in this situation. If you're going to line up and man up 3 deep, we have 1st downs that can stop the clock, as Riley is going to now throw, and there's Kennedy in the air. He's going to get them about 8 yards, and now lining up in prevent on 2nd and 2. They're going to run it again, and that's a nice run. It's going to get them 20 yards, and you're going to be down to a minute to go, still all their timeouts. And can you punch this into the end zone from 25 yards out and put yourself in a spot where you have a chance at this one? Riley, play action, face of the pressure, he's hit, and that's gonna be intercepted! And the ball just floated right into his hands, and Riley is coming up limping. And that is a brutal way to end this one. But Buffalo is going to move to 10-2 onto the MAC championship. For them, it will not be against Northern Illinois. It will be up against either Kent State or Akron, but it will be not the Huskies. Still, though, man, that game, I feel like it was winnable. It's just, it was so many bad plays from Cash Riley. And not to put it 100% on him, the line was bad. We expected that. Once you face off against a bit better of a pass rush, it just demolishes our line. We can't really do much about it. It was the one area of this team that we just weren't able to really touch in the transfer portal, and it had been holding up well enough for a couple of weeks against some weaker opponents, but once you face a good team like Buffalo, just wasn't able to get the job done there. And, I mean, on defense, we couldn't stop Nick McMillan. They really picked on Armstrong, who was our weak link. Understandable, but so let's move on to recruiting. We sit here at 6-5, and let's take a look at some prospects. And one prospect in particular that I have a lot of interest in. It is tight end Seti Elmira, who is a role of a guy that we just don't have on this team. He is nothing like someone like Cooper Flanagan, for example. This is your tight end H-back, full-back, kind of versatile guy who can line up, you know, as a wing, a fullback, can kind of be even a little bit of a run threat as well. I think if you want to go for like the NFL type comparisons, think of like a Chigakonkwo type, or someone that was really successful even this past year for Miami, and Jonnu Smith. I think that's a good comparison as well. That type of player who is just kind of this wing versatile player who doesn't have a good route tree, is not going to be, getting real vertical down the field, isn't going to be able to do a whole lot when it comes to just being a pure pass catcher type. This is a guy who you throw screens to, you throw dump downs to, you throw little designed plays. You can get him out in some versatile positions, even maybe has some ability to play like in the slot for a player because he's 6'2". I mean, typically you want your tight ends to be a little bit taller than that, even though the modern day of football has been more accepting to, guys who are not 6'5", 6'6" tight ends. But I think he even maybe has some like Jawan Johnson type usage as well as like a slot player. He's got some really interesting usability, I feel like, but when it comes to what he's able to do as a player, you get him the football, he's hard to bring down. He runs hard, he runs tough, he runs physical, he has nice speed at the tight end position to where that's where you're thinking maybe you can play him in the slot. Definitely not like as an outside guy, but if you want to play him in the slot, he has enough speed to hold up there. And I really like the skill set. I want a player like this on the team. I don't think we really have a fullback that we're comfortable with. I don't have a number 2 tight end I think that we're comfortable with. And Cooper Flanagan also is going to be graduating after this season, so he was only kind of a 1-year rental. So I think tight end is a really big need for this team, and it provides a skill set of somebody who, at the very, very least, can be a really fun role piece number 2 tight end fullback hybrid for us. And maybe on the upside, he does kind of hit that Jonnu Smith type who made a Pro Bowl this past year, who can really just reel in 80 grabs and can really be this go-to first down pass catching screen player for us, and can even be a little bit of a blocker. He's not a bad blocker. You can see some of the highlights of him blocking. If you get him on the move and you get him in space, he can get hands on defenders. He can block in the open field. So it's a very unique skill set. These types of tight ends maybe don't have always like the highest upside to be mega stars, superstars, but they really do have a fun usage to them. And if you're a creative offensive mind, you're going to have fun with a guy like Seti Almira. So he's definitely somebody who we're a little worried because Buffalo's interested in him. He's from New York. Buffalo is kind of like the front runner, but I think we can pull this one off. Us and Buffalo are by far the top 2, but if we're able to pull him in, it'd be an awesome addition to this tight end room. We are now on to the final game of the regular season for this Husky squad, as 6 wins right now seems like a bowl game is very much in the potential for the future of this team. I know 6 wins is kind of the benchmark, but it's not always a guarantee. If you finish with exactly 6 and you're in a small conference, you can miss out. But we're going to hope we can kind of leave no doubts here and get a victory over Akron, who's really been impressive this season. They were in the running for the MAC championship. We're both top 5 in the conference. It's kind of a battle between who can finish as maybe even as high as the number 3 team in the MAC, as we take the football first. Roxy Kennedy right up the middle with a nice run, and he and Jalen Leanne have combined to be about as impressive as a true freshman duo as you could possibly find in the country. As they go outside, speaking of him, it's Jalen Leanne for a grab of 6, and it'll be 3rd down and 1. They go a little read option, and Riley with a rare keeper. He's just going to dive down, get the first down as Riley back to the air is going to go outside and intercepted. And Cash Riley back-to-back games, starting it off with an opening drive pick. Just got to shake it off as we turn over to the Akron offense. This is a team that's really going to test our run defense, as this is a team probably that runs more than any squad in the MAC. We talked about Buffalo having the MAC's leading rusher, but this is a team that uses 2 backs, and they use them quite a lot, as Cam Dyer, the quarterback, throwing over the middle. Slant will get them 7 for 3rd down and 2 as they go play action, and Dyer rolling out, running, and he'll keep it for the first down. We'll see a lot of Dyer run, Kyson Brown run, Marquise Williams run. We'll see a lot of them as Dyer, typical for this pass rush, to give him a lot of time, and he's going to eventually run for a first. And they're at the 11. Here goes Marquise Williams with the spin move, and a 3rd down now at the 4 as Dyer is going to find an open man and a touchdown. as they get it done through the air. 7-0 Akron, as Riley, in the face of pressure, Jalen Leanne's wide open, hits a spin, and Leanne gets 22 yards. As Riley, he wasn't able to do a whole lot well, like after throwing that interception at Buffalo to start the game. He got off to a bad start and just wasn't fully able to really recover. He threw 3 picks and really costed this team an opportunity to win the game. Can he kind of steer the ship in the right direction, as it's going to be Roxy Kennedy helping him out, getting a 9-yard run there, just so difficult to bring down every single time, as Roxy is going to be open for a first. The flag is down, and you know what that means when a flag is down, because this offensive line is going to set us back. We had the first, now go to 2nd and 11, as Riley is going to roll, throw on the run, intercepted again, and Riley 2 picks in the first half, first quarter even, and now Akron takes over again. Riley has now in the last 5 quarters thrown 5 interceptions, and I mean he wasn't adverse to throwing risky passes. He threw a lot of them, but I mean I guess now they're just turning into interceptions where earlier on in the season they weren't. We get the football back and Roxy runs for a nice double-digit yard run. Riley over the middle gets Gary Givens for a first down. But, like, I really feel like we need to get Riley settled in now, as it's going to be a play action. Throwing it down the field, and Jalen Leanne. Plays like that will help out a lot. Get the momentum and the confidence back up. But a sack off play action. They weren't fooled. And now it's 2nd and goal from the 14. Riley sacked again. 3rd and goal from the 23. Just set up a screen. Here goes Kennedy. Can he get the block? Kennedy does. Roxy, 23 yards off the screen. And when you call a screen on like 3rd and 20 plus, you're kind of conceding. You're just playing for the field goal, playing for, you know, smarts and not trying to turn over the football or make the field goal any more difficult. But getting the touchdown there is huge. And now we turn it over to Akron, who's already moving the football between Brown's running and Williams running. Here goes Kyson Brown again, and he's got 8. 3rd down and 2. Go back to Brown. Another first. And they're at the 23-yard line, as they're going to go with Brown once more. And every run has just been really solid. 5, 6, 7 yards. 2nd down and 3, as Dyer floated for the end zone, knocked away. And Bakari Swain on the play. 3rd down and 3. Pressure set, and he breaks 1 sack, not 2. Miles Graham brings him down. And now the field goal is good. Akron 10-7. As the Husky offense takes over, and Riley in the face of pressure, come on, intercepted. That was just bad all around, and he couldn't handle the pressure, as Akron immediately set up a goal to go. 1st down and goal, jet pass, and brought down by Hannah, as he'll get a loss of 1. 2nd and goal from the 6, as Dyer puts the ball on the ground, but how can we not pick that up? They keep possession. 3rd down and goal, we get the sack, but man, that should have been a turnover. And we don't cause many turnovers, so I feel like we really needed that one. Akron puts up a field goal, 13-7, but Riley's got 3 first-half interceptions, and he's going to find Cooper Flanagan for a gain of 4. 3rd down and inches. Riley's handing it to Kennedy, who reaches for the first down, just barely has it, as Cash to the air, and he'll go over the middle. Kendrick knocked away from his grasp, and it's 3rd down and 10. Riley outside, passes off target, and Leanne has to try to make some crazy acrobatic catch that he can't make. Riley's just played really poor in this first half. It's just no excuses, as Riley now goes to the sidelines, and Akron's offense is now going to be out there, able to just play comfortable, play in control. I mean, you already have forced 3 turnovers as a defense. You're out there saying, hey, how many extra possessions are we going to get this game? Because it might be 3, 4, 5, who knows how many, as there goes Brown with 1 man to beat, and he's brought down at the 13-yard line in the run game. Williams in, he gets 2, 3rd down and 8, as he's gonna step up, and flag is down. It's gonna be incomplete, so penalty being on Akron. It's 4th down. If you decline, typically you would decline this, but NIU's actually going to accept to try to back them up and hopefully make this field goal try a little bit harder. It does work. You make it a little bit tougher of a field goal try. Still not that difficult, though, and the kick is good. But NIU seemingly trying to do anything they can to salvage some sort of momentum, salvage some sort of hope in this one. As, like, I know it's just a 9-point game, but it's looked bad for Riley, and you can't just rely on running the football only and hoping that that is alone going to be what gets you some points on the board. Cash is going to have to do something through the air as he's going to throw now over the middle, and Leanne bails him out with an incredible grab. That could have been another pick, but Riley got bailed out, and now Flanagan with a gain of 5. Just 44 seconds to play in this second quarter. On the run, Kendrick can't hang on. It's 4th down, and NIU will just take the field goal. Kick is good, and we will be seemingly heading to half potentially, as it's just 30 seconds to play. They throw an incomplete pass, and now 3rd down and 10 with 30 seconds to play. NIU swarming, gets the tackle for loss. They'll call a timeout. We'll get about 25 seconds with this punt, and if we can get a nice return here, Martin Elena at about his own 30-yard line gets 10, make it about 15 yards, and we can maybe get 1 strike to get into field goal range. Riley, can he get some momentum going into the second half? There you go, Miles Kendrick to the 34-yard line. Riley now is going to check it to the outside. Kennedy is going to get a couple more, make it 4 more yards, and now with 5 seconds to play, Kennedy's just going to directly keep it, slide down to center it for the kicker, make it a little bit easier, burn that timeout, and a field goal is good. So you really salvaged what could have and maybe even should have been a disastrous first half out of like this situation, only going down 3 points. Going into the second half, I think you're going to be happy with that, because you're saying to yourself, well, if we didn't throw 3 interceptions, we might be, and we probably should be winning this game. But man, Riley's got to figure it out. They're over 100 yards on the ground with Brown, so you got to also figure that out, because he's averaging over 9 a carry. So it's just been a rough game all around, but still winnable. Dyer off read option's going to get 5, as now it's 3rd down and 4. Dyer beats the blitz, gets into an open man, and they're in the red zone once more, as now from the 18, tackle for loss at least. You back them up. 3rd down and long. Can you bend, not break? Yes, you can. And you do force another field goal try to keep it a 1-score game. So it'll be 19-13. And Riley, do you have something a little bit better to come out of the second half? There you go. Open man, Roxy Kennedy out of the backfield with the spin. And Roxy gets 19 on the play. As now you're going to go with a little bubble. Leanne is going to get 6. And Jalen Leanne, a lot of production this game as well. He's getting targeted quite a lot as Roxy for the 1st down carry to the 46-yard line. 2nd down and 10. Riley over the middle. That's dangerous and incomplete. Kendrick couldn't reel it in. 3rd down and 10 as Riley's going to get it to Kennedy, who's got the 1st down. He's doing a lot in the receiving game today. And now on the ground, Roxy sheds a tackle, gets through, and look at him slip through for a 1st down. From the 22 now. Can we go and take the lead here on this drive as Roxy out of the backfield one more time for 7. From the 15. Give it to Elena. Martin Elena. Wide open lane and a touchdown. And the Huskies with the extra point take the lead 20-19. And despite everything that has gone wrong today, it's a lead for the Huskies over halfway through this 3rd quarter as Dyer gets a 1st down completion. Now handed off as it's going to be Williams and Brown just once again combining for another 1st down run. Brown gets it. He's well over 100. Tight end screen set up, and they're going to get another 1st down. This Akron offense is playing so well. Brown on the ground. And another 7 yards. It's just chunk after chunk. Tight end screen again. We were ready for it this time. You can't call it that soon. Loss of 5. 3rd down and 8. And can we bend, not break again? One-on-one pass. It's reeled in. Goal to go. They picked on Armstrong. And a tackle for loss for Ugamba. But they're at goal to go from the 5. And now they hand it off. And one man to beat in the lane. He's got it. Touchdown, Akron. And my goodness, you had the chance to get off the field there with another field goal try. You just couldn't do it. 2-point conversion now as Dyer completes it. 27-20 your score now. Third quarter, just a minute to go. Martin Elena, look at the room for Martin Elena. They're leaving these running backs for a lot of receiving potential here. I mean, it's just been Roxy Kennedy and Martin Elena out of the backfield doing a lot of work as Roxy gets 13. We got maybe one play left in this third quarter. Riley with the design rollout. He's got a wide open Gary Givens. And that will take us to the fourth quarter as we find ourselves in Akron territory. Underneath, there goes Flanagan. Sheds a tackle. Cooper gets to the 20. And now in the red zone. Hand off to Kennedy. Loses 2. Second down turns to 3rd and 12. Riley is going for Givens, who can't hang on. And you gotta try the field goal now. Kick is good. 27-23. Feels like one of these games where it's going to be really hard to win the game with a -3 turnover differential. If the defense can get us one back, can get us something. And as he's throwing incomplete, well, we'll take a 3 and out. That's more than, good enough for us as we get the football back with also an awful pun. Just don't do anything stupid. Let it bounce, and we'll take that. That is just like a 25-yard pun. And now Martin Elena has an open lane. Elena tries to hurdle. I don't know if that was the decision, but he got the first down regardless. Riley underneath for Givens with room to run, and Gary Givens for 19. Now once again in field goal range, but we really would like the touchdown. Leanne loses yards on the screen. 2nd and 13, play action. Riley finds Flanagan open inside the 10, and Cooper gets us to goal to go. Looking for the lead. Riley is got an open man. Miles Kendrick, touchdown. And NIU takes the lead one more time. Can we hold it with 5.5 to play? As there goes Williams for a good run. Williams staying in the game, taking the carry to the edge, and Marquise Williams has 19, and now they're in enemy territory, but we swarmed to that one. Miles Graham and company get in there. 3rd down and 14 for Dyer. He's got time. He's got a man over the middle and a first down, breaking the tackle, making a miss. Adams, he's gone. Touchdown, what a play. Akron takes the lead right back off an incredible play. And now with 4 minutes to go, Huskies got a flag down. Martin Elena out of the backfield. He's got the spin down the sidelines, and finally someone tracks him down. But the flag is on the Huskies. Holding and wipe out that play like a 50-yard swing. And now 2nd and 20, passes incomplete. 3rd down and 20 for Riley. He's gonna try to see what he can do with his arm. Hit as he's throwing, and you're gonna have to punt on 4th and 20. And the kick back deep. And Akron takes it at about the 40-yard line, gets past midfield, gets about a nice 15-yard return, and Akron maybe could put up a field goal here with another first down as Dyer gets a pass out incomplete. 3rd down and 10 as Dyer to the air. And we're sending 4, and passes incomplete. We'll take it back. They don't even get a field goal try. Kennedy can't go anywhere. We really have to rely on Riley to do something with his arm. Design rollout, trying to manufacture a little bit of time, but it's incomplete. 3rd down and 11, under 3 to play. Riley is going to throw one down the middle for the end. It's dangerous and picked off. His 4th of the game. And Akron takes over, and the run game, turn it to them. 2-minute warning about a hit. Pop pass, gets a lane, gets the block, and he's got a first down and more. And out of bounds doesn't mean much. It's the 2-minute warning from the 18. Now they're firmly in field goal range, and it's up to us to use our timeouts. And huge flag here. It's going to be a holding, so we should, barring something crazy, be able to get off the field here as they'll run to the outside with Williams. He'll get a couple. It'll be a 3-yard gain in our first timeout. Sweep it to the edge. He's got a lot more room this time, but it closes pretty quickly. How about 5 yards? A timeout again, and one more sweep. 3rd down, and we swarm to him, and we get the stop. Field goal try 37-30 as that one sneaks in, and Cash Riley has 4 interceptions, but he has 90 seconds to try to make something happen. And Martin Elena out of the backfield. It's been the running backs out of the backfield that have been huge today. With 1:16 to go, Riley over the middle. There's Jalen Leanne for another first down at about midfield. 60 seconds to play. Riley is gonna look. He's gotta get rid of it, and he does. 2nd down and 10. As we are now under a minute to play. He's going to throw, and there's a flag down. And you know what that means. It's going to be holding again. Backed us up. 39-yard line. 2nd and 20. Riley hit. Incomplete. 3rd down and long for Riley. What has he got here? A lot of time and just getting rid of it. He didn't really like what he's seen downfield. Leanne will set up 4th down and 11 with 27 seconds to play. Riley to keep the game on the line. He's got Elena who gets out of bounds at the 22. Riley's at 400 yards, but can he be the hero after all he's done badly? Overthrowing the football. Intercepted again. And Riley throws his 5th, and Akron is gonna win it. And Riley feels like he might be a little beat up after that one. Once again comes off in pain, but Akron will win the game 37-30. Riley throws 5 interceptions and just could not get it done. That was a brutal game to put up over 500 yards of offense and still lose because you threw 5 interceptions. And Riley, I mean, the decisions were poor. The throw at the end there, that was just a bad throw, not even as much a decision thing. That was just a bad throw. But, I mean, the other interceptions, just bad decisions, bad processing, bad everything. And he's just really shaken. I don't know what it is, but, like, the last 2 games, the Buffalo game and the Akron game, he just... I don't know. He was letting the pressure get to him. I know the offensive line is rough, and I know when the offensive line collapsed, you know, earlier on in the season before we made some changes, that's when we went on a 3-game losing streak, and Riley was playing his worst. Then we made some changes. Run game picked up. It got a little bit better. But, man, I mean, he's got to be able to function without the offensive line being on point. So... that's going to put us to 6-6. We'll talk about recruiting and see if we made a bowl game, and if we did, who we are up against. So let's get into our final prospect breakdown of the season, and that is going to be another 5-star player. How about the number 1 linebacker in the country, undersized, 5'11", Najee McBrien, who is a really fun player, I think, you know, for a guy who is 5'11", like just really undersized, not an ideal coverage player. I mean, he's not like the best. He is just one of those headhunting, over aggressive, pit bull like guys who just wants to take your head off. And you know, it leads to him making some mistakes. I mean, this is a guy who will bite on play action, trying to blow up the running back. And I mean, the undersized, while it is a negative, it also has played to his strength from a mentality standpoint. He always feels like he's got to throw his whole body on the line at times, and you know, maybe that could lend itself to some injuries down the line. But this is a rangy sideline to sideline mover, lateral agility, straight line speed. He's got that. He is able to just hunt people. He is a headhunter, but just a hunter in general. He's got incredible pursuit. He's got incredible ability to just track ball carriers down. And on top of that, he's got a nose for pass rushing as well. He is able to get after the quarterback. There are times where they send him right down the middle over a guard or over a center, and he is able to get down there. He's had a 3-sack game in high school, but I mean, most of the time it is him just shooting gaps, firing on like every little thing that he sees when it comes to run diagnostics. So he's a really fun player. This is a guy who's going to have some really flashy, explosive run defense reps where he just shoots the gap, he times it right, he blows up the running back, and you're just sitting there going like, man, this guy is special. But if you want to take the next level, if you want to be one of those linebackers who, you don't see linebackers nowadays going in the first round quite as much. If you want to be one of those linebackers who takes the next step, the next level, or in a passing league, passing is more prevalent than it's been over the years, and he's got to get better when it comes to covering. He was able to hold up and be fine in high school, but once you jump to what we presume is the SEC or the Big Ten, he's going to really have to take that leap up, and that's going to be the difference between if he's just a really good number 2 run-stopping early down linebacker, or if he can be a true 3-down special threat, like one of those truly unique linebackers that are really hard to find at the NFL level. So that's going to be kind of what the question is going to be for him. But, you can see the schools interested in him: Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Oregon. He's going to a big school, and he's going to get a lot of opportunities there. So that will take us to the end of the regular season. You can take a look at the little playoff bracket here, which you see Buffalo won the MAC, and they actually do grab that 12 seed. Well deserved for them. But when it comes to our bowl fates, the NIU Huskies at 6-6 on the season will be going bowling. We got the 68 Ventures Bowl against South Alabama. So in the next episode, we will give you our bowl game against South Alabama, recap the season, do the off season, and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of these final 3 games and what you thought overall of season 2. Like, comment, and subscribe, as all that stuff is super helpful as I continue to get these videos out. And I'll see you guys all in the next one.